Namaste, this is Ramesh Naidu from Target School. Today topic Circles Part 3 for 9th class students, right? So in this Part 3 we discuss exercise 1 and exercise 2 problems, right? Now let me do exercise 1 problems. Exercise 12.1, right? So circles is 12th chapter. In this the first exercise problems. Observe carefully. So they given one figure, that is a circle with center O, right? And in this circle OB is radius, OA also radius, right? Then AB is its diameter, right? So diameter is largest chord of the circle, right? So OB is radius, the distance from center to any point on the circle is called radius. OB is radius and OA also radius, right? Then AB is diameter of the circle, right? And AD is chord, so it is AD arc, right? BD also a chord and BXD is an arc, right? And BC also an arc. BC it is length of arc and BC is chord, right? Yes. Now here some bits are there. Observe carefully. The first bit, observe carefully. The distance AO is called dash. The distance AO is called. AO is called. It is the distance from center to a point on the circle. It is called radius, right? So the first bit answer is the distance AO is called radius of the circle, right? The first bit answer radius, right? Go for second bit. The distance AB, see AO bar, it is line segment. Here also line segment. Observe carefully. The distance AB line segment is called as AB. So AB line segment, it is diameter, right? This is the largest chord of the circle. It passes through center. So AB is called diameter. The second bit answer diameter. Right? Go for third bit. The length of the circular line, BC, see it is arc. The length of the circular line, it represents an arc. So BC arc, see BC arc, BC. So observe carefully. It is not line segment. It is a curved line. So it represents an arc. See BC arc. So it is called arc. So which type of arc? That is minor arc, means a small arc. So circular line, the length of circular line is called minor arc. Right? So circular length BC, not BC line segment. Observe, BC circular length is called a minor arc, right? And the next fourth bit, the distance AC line segment. Observe carefully. This line segment, not a curved line. AC line segment is called. So AC. What about AC? AC is called a chord. See, it is chord. AC line segment is called dash chord, right? And AC circular length, it is called minor arc, right? So what is the difference between AC line segment and AC circular length? Here it is line segment bar, but it is a curved line. So it represents a chord and it represents arc, right? Next go for fifth bit. The length of the circular line DCB, circular line DCB, so it is curved shape. DCB arc, it represents arc. DCB, observe carefully. DCB, it is major arc. See, DCB. So here DCB, length of arc, represent a major arc, right? So if the arc is small, that is called minor arc. If the arc is very large, then that is called major arc, right? Next, the length of the circular line ACB. ACB circular line. See, ACB is called a semicircle, right? Observe carefully. ACB, it is a semi-arc, right? So ACB is half of the circumference of total circle. So ACB is semi-arc, right? So ACB is called, it represents arc. Semi-arc, right? Next, the distance AD means AD arc. See, AD, where is AD? AD, it is a circular length. It represents arc, AD arc. That is very small. So it is called a minor arc. It's called a minor arc, right? And the AD line segment, see, it is line segment, AD bar, AD line segment, it is called a chord. So we know very well, what is the definition of chord? If a line segment joining 2 points on the circle is called a chord, right? So it is called a chord. So what is the difference between AD bar and AD arc? It is minor arc, it is circular length, but it is AD bar, line segment, right? So it is called minor arc and it is called a chord. The last one, the area covered by the shaded region is called. So here the shaded region. So it is the shaded region. So what is it is called? It is called a minor segment. So in a total circle, it is minor part. So here BD is chord. This chord divides the total circle into 2 parts. It is one part, it is one part. So this part is very small, right? This shaded region enclosed by a minor arc and chord. So it is called minor segment. It is called minor segment. Right? What about the remaining part? It is called a major segment, right? So this shaded region is known as a minor segment. Right? So these are the bits in first Roman, right? Yes, go for second Roman in exercise 12.1, right? So they given 1, 2 up to 7. 7 statements are given. So now we have to check whether it is true or false. If the statement is true, we keep T in the bracket. If it is false, we keep F in the bracket, right? The first statement, observe carefully. A circle divides the plane on which it lies into 3 parts. See, a circle divides the plane into 3 parts. Is it true or false? Observe carefully. So this is plane. In this plane, a circle with center O, right? So this circle divides the plane into 3 parts. They given 3 parts, right? Is it correct or not? Check it. So it divides the plane into 3 parts. How? So it is interior. So it is interior part, right? And it is exterior part, outside. Inside it is outside, exterior. Right? Interior and exterior, and it is on the circle. Observe carefully, on the circle. Right? Total 3 parts. Suppose take a point A. A is inside the circle, and take a point B that is outside the circle. Take a point C on the circle, right? So we decide 3 parts. Every circle divides the plane into 3 parts. That is interior and exterior and on the circle, right? So inside, outside, on the circle. So every circle divides the plane into 3 parts. So into 3 parts. It is true, right? Keep T. If the statement is true, means we keep T. Otherwise we keep false. Second statement. The area enclosed by a chord and a minor arc is called minor segment, right? The area enclosed by minor arc and a chord. Enclosed by a chord and minor arc. So minor arc means a small arc, and a chord. It is the remaining circle, right? Center of the circle. So here AB is chord and it is minor arc. So length of this arc is less than remaining arc. So it is called minor arc. So this region enclosed by minor arc and chord is called minor segment. So it is called minor segment. Yes, the statement is true. True. Next, the area enclosed by a chord and major arc. So here it is minor arc, the remaining is major arc. Its length is more than this length. So this region is called major arc, right? So this segment look like very large than this segment. So it is minor segment, it is major segment. Minor segment, major segment. See, a chord and major arc is called major segment. That is also true. So once again listen, the region enclosed by minor arc and a chord is called minor segment, right? The region enclosed by major arc and a chord is called major segment, right? So that is true. Go for next 4th statement. A diameter divides the circle into 2 unequal parts. See, unequal means not equal. Diameter divides the circle into 2 unequal parts. Here we know very well the diameter of a circle passes through center of the circle and it divides the circle into 2 halves, right? It is a half and it is a half. 2 equal parts. Every diameter of circle divides the circle into 2 equal parts, right? But in the statement they given unequal parts, so it is false. F, right? Next, a sector is the area enclosed by 2 radii and chord. Observe carefully, 2 radii and a chord. So we know very well what is the definition of a sector. Sector is a region enclosed by 2 radii and an arc, right? And an arc, not a chord. But in this statement, 2 radii and a chord. So it is false. So every sector is enclosed by 2 radii and an arc. But in this problem, they given chord. So it is a false statement. Right? Next, go for next statement. The longest of all chords, of a circle is called diameter, right? So in any circle, the longest chord is diameter that is passes through center of the circle. So it is true. This statement is true, right? The longest chord is called diameter. Next, the midpoint of any diameter of a circle is center of the circle. Observe carefully. It is diameter, it is midpoint. So midpoint of diameter is center of the circle. So it is also true, right? Next, go for exercise 12.2, right? Second exercise, the first problem. In the given figure, if AB equal to CD and angle AOB 90 degrees, then find the angle COD. Observe carefully. So, in the figure, a circle with center O, and AB equal to CD. AB is equal to CD. So in this figure, AB, CD are two chords. The two are equal, right? AB and CD, these two are equal chords, right? And angle AOB equal to 90 degrees. Angle AOB. So it is 90 degrees. Then what is the question? Find angle COD. Angle COD. So now we have to find angle COD, right? So observe carefully. From theorem 1, so we know very well the first theorem, equal chords subtend equal angles at the center in a circle, right? Here AB and CD are equal chords. These two equal chords subtend equal angles at center. If it is 90 means it is also 90 because these two chords are equal, right? So already discussed in the previous video, equal chords subtend equal angles at the center, right? We know that equal chords of a circle, subtend equal angles at the center, right? See, angle AOB 90 degrees, then angle COD, it is also 90 degrees. Angle COD also 90 degrees, right? So this is one of the method from theorem 1. So or we can do in another way. So that is a very easiest method. These two first we have to prove these two triangles are congruent. If these two triangles are congruent, then their corresponding parts are equal. That is another method, right? So or another method. First we have to compare corresponding parts of these two triangles. The first triangle AOB, second triangle COD. Triangle AOB and next triangle COD. Yes, compare their corresponding parts. The first AB is equal to CD. Why? AB is equal to CD. Why? In the problem they only given if AB equal to CD, that is given, right? And the next OA is equal to OC. So what about this? It is radii in the same circle. OA is radius, OC also radius. So radii in the same circle. So in any circle, radius is the same, right? So OA equal to OC and OB equal to OD. Radii in the same circle. OA is equal to OC. Next OB is equal to OD. Radii in the same circle, right? So radius of the same circle is equal. So observe carefully. Three sides of first triangle are respectively equal to three sides of second triangle. Then the two triangles are congruent. By which congruency rule? By triple-less congruency rule. By SSS congruency rule. By SSS congruency, the two triangles are congruent. Triangle AOB is congruent to triangle COD, right? The two triangles are congruent. By CPCP, CPCP means corresponding parts of congruent triangles. If two triangles are congruent, then their corresponding parts are equal. By CPCP, angle AOB is equal to angle COD, this angle. Right? We know angle AOB, that is 90, then angle COB also 90 degrees. Both are equal, right? Yes, go for second problem. In the figure, PQ is equal to RS and angle ORS 48 degrees. Then find angle OPQ and angle ROS. See? So this is a circle with center O and PQ, RS are two equal chords. So here these two are equal chords. They only given PQ is equal to RS. These two equal chords and angle ORS, it is 48 degrees. Then find the angle OPQ. We have to find this angle and angle ROS, this angle, right? So observe carefully. So of these two triangles, take any triangle. Yes, here by taking ORS in triangle ORS, in triangle ORS, observe carefully. ORS, angle R 48 degrees, that is angle ORS is equal to 48 degrees, right? And what about OR and OS sides? Observe carefully. OR is radius of the circle, it is radius, and OS also radius, right? So OR and OS is radius of the circle. So that is equal in circle. Radii is same, right? And which sides are equal? OR is equal to OS. OR is equal to OS. Radii in the same circle. Right? In triangle, if two sides equal, then their opposite angles are also equal. So in this triangle, this side and this side, these two are equal. Then their opposite angles are equal. According to the properties of triangle, if two sides equal, then their opposite angles. Its opposite angle is 48, then its opposite angle also 48. Right? Because that is isosceles triangle. Right? So if OR is equal to OS, then their opposite angles. Then angle of OR, opposite angle of OR, that is angle OSR. Angle OSR is equal to OS opposite angle ORS. Angle ORS. Right? We know angle ORS. ORS is 48. Then OS are also 48. Therefore, angle OSR is equal to 48 and angle ORS is 48. That is given, right? So once again listen. In triangle ORS, OR is equal to OS. Why? Because it is radii in the same circle. So it is isosceles triangle. In isosceles triangle, the angles which are opposite to equal sides are also equal. So these two sides are equal. OR is equal to OS. Their opposite angles. Its opposite angle is 48. Then its opposite angle also 48. Right? Now, in triangle ORS, sum of three angles is 180 degrees. That is angle ROS plus ROS, this angle, plus ORS, this angle, plus this angle, angle OSR, is equal to 180 degrees. Sum angle property. In any triangle, sum of three angles is 180 degrees, right? So in this triangle, sum of these triangles is 180 degrees. Sum angle property, right? From sum angle property. So we know ROS. So sorry, ROS we don't know. Write as this. Angle ROS plus it is 48 plus it is 48 is equal to 180, right? Then angle ROS is equal to 48 plus 48, 48 plus 48, 80, 96. Take that side, minus 96. It will become minus 96, right? Then angle ROS is equal to 180 minus 96. Yes, here 17 is there. 17 minus 9, 8. Right? 84. So angle ROS is equal to 84 degrees. It is 84 degrees, right? Next, we have to find angle OPQ, this angle. So observe carefully, these two are equal chords. From theorem 1, equal chords subtend equal angles at center, that is one, and these two triangles are congruent triangles. So already we did equal chords subtend equal angle at center, then the two triangles are congruent triangles, right? So from theorem 1, here these two are equal chords, subtend equal angles at center, and also the two triangles are congruent triangle. From theorem 1, triangle ORS is congruent to triangle OPQ, right? By CP, two triangles are congruent, then their corresponding parts are equal. By CP, so angle ORS 48, then angle OPQ, it is also 48, right? Angle ORS is equal to angle OPQ, that is equal to 48 degrees, right? So that was this first question. Find angle ROS, that is 84 degrees. And the second question, find angle OPQ. So these two are required questions. This first question, angle ROS, this first question, and angle OPQ, this second question. So it is 84 and it is 48 degrees, right? Go for third problem. In the given figure, PR and QS are two diagonals. See? PR, it is first diameter and QS is two diameters. These two are diameters. We know very well diameters passes through center of the circle, right? Then show that PQ is equal to RS. PQ is equal to RS. We have to prove these two are equal, right? So by taking these two triangles, see? By taking the two triangles, the first triangle POQ, next triangle POQ. Next, SOR. Triangle SOR. So compare corresponding parts. OP is equal to OQ. Sorry, OP is equal to OQ and OS is equal to OR. That is rad in the same circle. So POQ, OP is equal to in this OS. OP is equal to OS. Right? Next, OQ is equal to OR. OQ is equal to OR. So what can you say about the two? Radii in the same circle, right? Radii in the same circle. So that is completed. What next? These two are diagonals. See, sorry, diameters. So diameters. Yes, once again listen. OP is equal to OS, OQ is equal to OR in both triangles, right? That is radii in the same circle. Next, these two are diameters, intersect at O, right? So these two angles are vertically opposite angles. Angle POQ is equal to angle SOR. These two are vertically opposite angles. VOA means vertically opposite angles, right? So observe carefully, in this triangle, side angle side SAS are respectively equal to side angle side. By SAS congruency, the two triangles are congruent. Side angle side. Once again, listen, side angle side are respectively equal to side angle side. By SAS congruency, the two triangles are congruent, right? Which two triangles? POQ and SOR. The two are congruent, right? By CPCT, if two triangles are congruent, then their corresponding parts are equal. By CPCT, in this triangle PQ is equal to, in this triangle SR. PQ is equal to SR. So this is required to prove, right? Here show that PQ equal to RS. RS means SR. Hence, it is proved.